I'm a flat earther. As I've said before, I believe that flat earth is the key to ending our physical, mental, scientific, educational, financial, and spiritual enslavement. That's the only reason why I'm here, and that's why I'm passionate about the flat earth, and that's why the anti-truthers are trying so hard to shut us down. My topic for this presentation is, what does it mean to be a flat earther? We know that the media would proclaim that flat earthers are just stupid or uneducated, holding on to unproven, antiquated beliefs. Well, I have a bachelor's, a Juris Doctorate, and a master's, and many other flat earthers also have advanced degrees. We have PhDs, engineers, pilots, military professionals, lawyers, surveyors, and teachers. Okay, so maybe we have the same formal education, but maybe we flat earthers are just ignorant of the heliocentric model. Surprisingly, nearly every flat earther knows more about the heliocentric model than your typical ball earther. We're going to have a little quiz here. Let's see how good you flat earthers are at restating heliocentric dogma without looking up the answers. Question 1. How fast does the ground of the Earth allegedly rotate at the equator? Approximately 1,000 miles per hour. Question 2. How fast is the alleged Earth's orbit around the Sun? 66,600 miles per hour. Question 3. How far away is the Sun purportedly from the Earth? 93 million miles. Question 4. How are seasons caused according to the heliocentric model? Because the Earth is tilted. Question 5. How many degrees is the alleged axial tilt of the Earth? 23.4 degrees or 66.6 degrees, depending on how you want to view it. Question 6. How far away is the moon, allegedly? From surface to surface, it would be 234,000 miles. Question 7. What is the radius of the alleged ball Earth, and what is its circumference? Radius equals 3,959 miles. Circumference, 25,000 miles. Question 8. What formula can you use to determine the rate at which the alleged ball Earth drops away from you? 8 inches per mile squared. Try to find any globe-loving audience anywhere that can answer those questions better. We flat earthers are certainly not ignorant of the heliocentric model. In fact, when you really think about the flying, vortexing heliocentric model, you begin to realize how stupid it really is. Since they try to obscure their actual beliefs, let me tell you what a ball earther believes. They believe all the planets, moons, asteroids, meteors, and satellites of our solar system are chasing after the sun that is flying around our galaxy at a speed of 514,000 miles per hour. This video isn't scaled properly, but if you scale it properly with the sun having a diameter of just 1 centimeter on your computer screen, Pluto would then be outside your home 42 meters away from the sun. That's ridiculous. But what's even more crazy is the fact that they believe that all of the planets and moons of the solar system are all on this same plane of the sun as they chase after the sun. So, in a year time, the sun would have traveled in this left direction 4.5 billion miles in 1 year. However, planet Earth would have also traveled 4.5 billion miles chasing after the sun in the same left direction, but in addition, Earth would have simultaneously traveled up and down 584 million miles in an ellipse around the sun. If you're still struggling with the silliness of this, next time you're in a marathon, try sidestepping back and forth at great distances while simultaneously trying to keep up with the leader, and maybe you'll see the problem. Like I've said before, I don't care how many degrees you have. This is stupid. Ball earthers believe that a comet, like Halley's Comet, can get yanked back every 75 years and catch right back up with a zooming solar system right on schedule. That's stupid. They believe that even though the Earth is wobbling, spinning, and vortexing through the vacuum of space at insane speeds, that the North Star has never changed position in recorded history, simply because it's really, really, really far away. That's stupid. They believe that all the wobbling, spinning, and vortexing through space cannot be felt, measured, or detected on Earth. Einstein himself said there was no optical experiment that can detect the Earth's motion. That's stupid. They believe that the moon appears reddish during a lunar eclipse because the sun rises and sunsets of the Earth are refracting onto the moon 234,000 miles away. That's stupid. They believe that a selenelion occurs because the sun and moon, which are both above the horizon, somehow aren't really there but only appear there because of refraction, which strangely only happens during a lunar eclipse. That's stupid. They believe that the sun and moon only appear to be the same size in our sky, based solely on an impossible coincidence. To understand the scale of this, for a tall 7'2" man representing the diameter of the sun, the ball earther would claim that the moon would have a mere diameter of the eraser on a pencil. But from our point of view on the Earth, the sun and moon only appear to have the same diameter based solely on a coincidence. That's stupid. They believe that during a solar eclipse that the shadow of the moon, which is supposed to have a diameter of 2,159 miles, casts a shadow on Earth that is only 70 miles in diameter. That's stupid. They believe that our pressurized atmosphere is adjacent to an inconceivably powerful vacuum without any effect whatsoever on our air supply or anything else. That's stupid. They believe that the Earth curves away from you at 8 inches per mile squared based on a ball Earth radius of 3,959 miles, and yet all the evidence demonstrates that we see way too far and there is no measurable curvature. An Earth radius of 3,959 miles? That's stupid. Whether you're at the surface filming across a body of water or in an airplane with an infrared camera, they believe that you can see way too far because the atmosphere has this magical ability to remove all evidence of the curvature and wraps distant objects around the curvature. That's stupid. They want you to believe that if you were to stand on the west side of Utah Lake with binoculars, that the opposite eastern shore 13 miles away should be 70 feet below the horizon. That's stupid. They believe that all of our oceans are bendy and conform to the shape of a ball, but these bendy oceans simply disappear whenever you try to measure or detect them, and are certainly never encountered by naval forces. That's stupid. They believe that the bulge of the Earth can disappear and relocate many miles further while leaving objects in between unaffected, like in this infamous Black Swan video from BMLSB 69. Relocating geometric horizons in Earth bulges while not affecting objects in between? That's stupid. They believe that the only way to tell whether a distant boat is actually a mirage is by the curvature calculator. No, that boat is not a mirage. That is stupid. They believe in the story of the lunar lander, which looks like it was shoddily made by a high school drama club, complete with black paper, tape, gold aluminum foil, and curtain rods, which somehow achieved speeds up to 4,000 miles per hour on descent and ascent, was never tested or flown on Earth, somehow didn't leave a blast crater, included enough room for a fold-up dune buggy, and had a miraculous air conditioning and fresh air system that could sustain life on the moon for more than 3 days. That's stupid. They believe those visible wires above the Apollo astronauts were only light reflections, and that the obvious vertical movie backdrops visible throughout the Apollo missions were actually real moon landscapes, despite the obvious line between the stage and the backdrop. That's stupid. They believe that the alleged ISS spaceship, which most certainly looks like a kid's model, which was never assembled on Earth for testing, is actually falling perpetually at 17,000 miles per hour in the vacuum of space. That's stupid. They believe that the unproven force of gravity from the moon pulls the oceans towards the moon but has no effect on anything else but the oceans. That's stupid. In addition to the alleged gravity of the moon pulling the oceans, they believe that the moon causes high tides on the opposite side of the Earth by causing the Earth to bounce, which bulges the oceans away from the moon. That's stupid. They believe that the bright moonlight that you can read from is actually a reflection of sunlight 234,000 miles away off of a dark gray dust ball, in total contradiction of the inverse square law of light. That's stupid. They believe in 19,287 space satellites, which are never photographed except for those ones attached